Welcome back to Minus 16, the podcast where we talk not only tech, but the business of YouTube as well. And as ever, seems to be quite a lot to talk about. It's been quite spicy, hasn't it, Alex? There's been a bit going on with the YouTube world recently.
Yeah. People can't just stay quiet and produce videos.
No. They have to explain themselves.
Beefs and yeah, exactly.
So first of all, what's life like being like in 100 club for you then? So on the very day that we recorded last time, it ticked over to 100, didn't it?
Everything's different. I've got these amazing deals. People are sending me free cards.
House in the country.
Nothing changed.
Did you manage to take that weekend off a little bit? Because when we left you, you were going to be working late that night, and then I think you went away for the weekend, didn't you?
I got to as far as 1 a.m. I was editing, and then I thought to myself, I'm not going to finish this unless I stay up until 5 a.m., which I've done several times, but I thought, nah. So I booked a hotel for the weekend in Cornwall.
Beforehand, or just as a result of?
No, there and then.
Right.
And then in the morning, I just told my wife, by the way, we're off to Cornwall.
Oh, nice.
And it was a lovely surprise. My son was happy. The dog was happy.
Yep.
Yeah, so we just drove down.
I forgot your dog's name, which is very vulgar and rude of me. What's
Chalky.
It? Chalky.
Yeah,
That's
Chalky.
It. Chalky's a lovely dog.
Yeah. So we went down to the coast and we ended up staying there until Tuesday morning, which is awesome.
Because your boy was still on half term, wasn't he?
He's returned to school Wednesday, so it's good. Yeah.
So you did manage to mark it a little bit then. It is a big landmark. I mean, it really is to get. I mean, when you think of 100,000 people, that is ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. It still hasn't really sunk in yet, but it's nice. Like I was just saying before we started recording. We were checking the studio app. I was like, I don't have it anymore because the way I respond to comments now is different. I can kind of allow myself an hour in the evening maybe to go there and respond to comments, but I don't really, worry too much about the app anymore. Yeah,
it's funny you say that because I've got my sort of system down as well. I tend to allow kind of an hour in the morning where I've seen the comments build up to, and I try not to get into the habit of responding to them all through the day. I'll just set aside that hour in the morning, and then if more build up during the day, then it'd be the next morning. I find it's just a nice cadence to do it. Everyone gets an answer, but I'm not rushing. And it's like you, I don't know if it's when you're sort of more wet behind the ears with it, but you kind of look at figures all the time, don't you?
I have to say, it was impossible. I'm sure impossible is not the word, but it was really hard to do that when I was getting close to 100. Because oh my gosh, I was constant. It was almost like. I didn't even think. The first thing I did after unlocking the phone was opening Studio. It's a little bit like, it's like, I felt like an addicted person. It's like, oh my God, this is terrible. Spending so much time on that app. And it didn't do anything for me. It was just a thing that's like, seeing those little increments. Now it's like, I grew by, I think 500 subs, which in the grand scheme of things is not great. It's not fantastic. But I was like, it just happened, and I haven't actually looked at it.
No, it becomes almost a second habit that your finger just flicks to it immediately in the morning. I remember when my first video was the first time one of my videos went to over 1,000 views, and I was looking at it, 850, 900, 925, and you keep refreshing, drawing down on it, waiting for it, don't you?
Yeah.
But equally, it's something else just struck me. Do you remember way back in your younger days on YouTube, when you used to get somebody to subscribe to you, you used to get that email saying XYZ has subscribed to you. Of course, then you get to, I don't know if they stopped doing that at 1,000 or whatever, but suddenly you just, because obviously you couldn't keep up with it. But it's just, I remember
you still get the comments emails, but not the subscribe. Yeah, it used to be cool.
Yeah, I know. I was a little bad. Somebody's actually watching me. Somebody's bothered to, and actually, let's do this differently this week. We might as well talk about YouTube at the top end. What do you say? As we're talking,
why not?
Yesterday, I think it might have been I had it once on a live stream. Somebody actually gave me a super thanks of £10 last night and said, I really appreciate all the work you put in. And I just felt so chuffed.
That's amazing.
It'd been a really hard edit yesterday. I spent 12, 13 hours on it, and I didn't feel good about it. In actual fact, it's better than I thought. At the end of it, I thought it was absolute shite, but it wasn't.
I saw that pop up, so I'm going to watch that later.
But you know what it's like? You sometimes you're so close to the baby, you kind of lose perspective of what it's honestly like. And I thought it was actually... And then I had to go and see a client. I came back, and just before I posted it, I thought, it's not as bad as I thought. But it's just tough when you spend all that day editing, you're by yourself, and then somebody takes the time just to say, I really enjoyed that. Thank you. And give you a tenner for your work.
That's awesome, isn't it? That is really good. Yeah. There's different ways of recognition, right? That's one that's like that, a direct user, viewer, saying, I really enjoyed it. Here's some support. That's awesome when that happens. There's also, when the video itself does well, that's another way of us kind of feeling, okay, I did a good job here. But the difficult part for me is when neither of those things happen, you immediately assume, even though the quality of the content, there's nothing wrong with the content, but because the video might be, the wrong time, it might be the wrong title and thumbnail, whatever it might be, right? You don't get that recognition or that validation. It's really hard to ignore that and move on to the next one, because you, like I said, you spend so long, in some cases, weeks working on a video. And when you don't get that recognition, it's really hard. Even though there's loads of success stories on the channel by now, I still look at those ones.
They still
every time I saw one earlier today. I was trying to use an example to a sponsor, and I said, okay, here's a couple of videos that I did on this topic, and one of them was like 3,000 views. I was like, okay, I can't send that one. But then I thought again, I said, you know what? Actually, I still send it because the content is not bad. It's just at the time, it was the wrong, type of content.
And also in the game where, we're not big enough that you can take a couple of weeks off to like the Prosses and Sam Coles and McKinnons. We need regular content. And we're not magicians. If there's not much to talk about, if there's just not much in the way of product to talk about, and we're having to go back over older stuff maybe, we're in that position where the algorithm likes regularity and content for sure.
Yeah. It's a constant contradiction for me, because I think the algorithm likes regular and predictable stuff. Right? So if you do the same sort of content, the algorithm will know that that's great, because people like, it's easier to binge your channel if you just do the same thing. For my channel, it's hard to do that. I mean, I think as it grows, it's probably easier now so I can create, for example, a health and fitness thing and have 6-7 videos in there, or a gaming section and have a few videos of that. But when you're starting out, it's difficult to build something that is specific. We end up, for example, in my case, I know if I do an S24 Ultra 6 months later, whatever it is,
you're guaranteed.
You do great.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do that. There's not much to talk about on that. So I'll probably do something else. And I know that there'll be a slow, luckily there's an iPad, which we'll talk about. There's an iPad coming out, but
thank the Lord.
I still want to be, it's especially now that, it got to the milestone. It's like, I really want to do content that I really want to do. There's a few examples of that. But
I probably started watching your channel a year and a half ago, so I didn't see your very early stuff. Was there a point that you can remember, a line in the sand, when you decided you were going to stay in lane more? Were you ever purely an Apple channel or purely an Android channel? Or did you make a decision it was going to be tech generally?
From the very beginning, my first video is about a pair of shoes.
I remember that, you told me.
But from the very beginning, I thought I was going to talk about the things that I'm passionate about in tech. So I thought, okay, I'm going to niche down as much as tech. But I got, because I think it was in the first few videos, I was going through a transition of, Android and Apple, even at that time, trying different things. I was like, I can't really just do one content. Knowing full well, and people at the time said, even before I reached 5,000 subscribers, I remember going to a podcast. And in that podcast, we had two big creators, one big creator. I think at the time he had 60,000. Now his name is Jeff, and he does like audio earbud stuff. El Jefe, shout out. And I remember him saying, look, your channel is a little bit all over the place. So if you really want to grow, and this is a big if, right? Sometimes the priority isn't growth. Sometimes, you might just be learning the trade. Whereas I wanted growth, but I also wanted to make sure I was doing, stuff that, because, I didn't want to feel like it was a bit of another 9-to-5 job, be kind of a slave to the process again. It's like YouTube is a bit of escape for me, and it still is. So I want to do stuff that I feel good about. And when I'm editing, I'm enjoying every time. Honestly, it's every single video when I'm editing, I'm most of the time smiling myself, because that's the favorite part of the process.
Wish I was yesterday. I was not smiling yesterday.
I can tell you, if I was doing the same thing every week, I would probably not be in that space. I would probably not be enjoying myself. But some people, it's just me, right? Some people are different, and some people will thrive in creating the same thing every single week and just finding different angles and be the expert for that one thing. I just can't.
Well, clearly a mate of ours comes to mind, Daniel. I mean, he's made Samsung his baby, hasn't he? He's got immense detailed knowledge on it, and it comes through when you watch his content. He knows stuff that other people just wouldn't know is there.
And that's actually a good, either Samsung or Apple or Google, if you specialize at a brand level, then you can still talk about all of these other things, right? So it's big enough so that you're not bored. But like in some areas, in some niches, there's so little to talk about. I was watching after my Garmin review. YouTube is like, because I watch my own video. I don't know if you do that after upload. You watch your own
for
video,
color as much as anything. Actually,
yeah, it's like to see if it's not screwed up. Right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. The algorithm still thinks that because you watch that video, it's going to serve you related stuff. So last night, at home, I opened YouTube and it's like all these smartwatch reviews. And I thought I liked the sound of one of them, clicked on it. And it was, it was a channel that only did smartwatches. And I was like, oh my gosh, I could not do that. Amazing. I mean, and a huge channel. Like I think his name is DC Rainmaker. Turns out I've seen his channel before, but there was some sort of embargo yesterday. And I was just thinking, gosh, if I only did this sort of content, I probably could grow quite big. But then that thought came back. I'd be quite bored as well within a month.
When I was, I don't know if you remember the conversations. I don't know really reason you would. I've just got one of those brains. When we were at the pub together last summer and you said the Watch Ultra you bought and it immediately paid you back kind of thing. You got great results and great clicks. And I was thinking, well, if a Watch Ultra came out this year, I'd kind of, but I think that I was watching, as you logged on, I was watching your Garmin Epix Pro 2. It's still on the other Mac over there. I was watching it, trying to learn how to make a watch review because I don't know if I'd know where to start on that. That'd be a new skill set for me. I've never done one.
That video took months, so I'm pleased it's doing well. But for me, those sort of videos, you have to spend time. Quality. It's a little bit harder than the phone, actually. Because, people watching those videos want to know battery life. They want to know, a lot of detail. So I just went for a few runs, quite a lot of runs. So it's keeping me fit at least.
It's funny you say that because the whole thing about being a genuine reviewer and keeping hold of product and actually using it, that comes through so clearly. And that's why I think both of us don't particularly agree with trying to put a review out day one when a product launches. There's zero, or even a couple of days, you need time.
Yeah, I think that pressure, it's still in the back of my mind. I was looking at the Apple event and thinking, I've got to do something that day. And I know it will work. I've got a formula that whenever it's a new Apple product, you release on a certain period of time and it will work. So I'll probably still do that. But because it's a formula and it's not really a review, it's more of a reaction. I know that video will do well because I'm talking about specific things that people want to hear. But yeah, most of the time, like I said, I probably, even if the iPad is available that Friday, there's not going to be a video for me on for a few days afterwards, right? And those days of worrying, I've got to compete with people like Marquez and whatever. It's silly to do because
they've had it for 2 weeks, haven't they? For starters, so they can actually put together a good review of it because they've had it 2 or 3 weeks in their hands. Whereas last year I made that mistake with the Samsung Flip. And, I tried to get a video out same day and I just realized that is a complete mistake.
It is. And I've seen more and more creators. I mean, we had Pete Matheson here, remember, as a guest. And that was one of the things he mentioned, that he doesn't really rush those things anymore.
No, it's more sense. And I've made quite a few videos on the MacBook Air, M3 MacBook Air. And because the more I'm using it, the more I'm getting to know it. So any foibles, because people are realizing I'm genuinely using it a lot. And it comes through.
That's good, yeah. I did that for the M2 MacBook Air when it came out. And I did a few different angles because, people like that aspect of, I think I did one as a student, one as a graphic designer.
You did quite a big Lightroom test, I seem to remember.
Day in the life type videos.
And you did quite a big Lightroom test, didn't you, with a load of presets? I think you were sort of stress testing it that way. And you did a big photo dump into it. And
And depending on the spec you go for, you can create videos that are, because people are so specific sometimes. I want to buy this spec because that's what I can afford, or because that's what I think I need. And then they want reviews that answer that specific question.
And you'll totally get this point. A couple of weeks back, I thought I've got to stop making content about the M3 MacBook Air. And then I realised just because the likes of you and I go out and buy it on week one, some people, it's still new. People are still looking to go and buy it. And that was clear from the video this week. People saying, I'm trying to decide with the M3 iMac.
No one buys it at launch. The majority of people buy it.
So it's still current because, people are saving up. Students are waiting for loans to come through. Other people are waiting for salary checks. And that's when I realised, just because I've had it for 5-6 weeks now, and it's, another part of the furniture to me, to the people actually going to buy it generally, it's still a brand new product.
They probably have in their basket for months, right? I do that sometimes. But, whenever you buy something expensive, it's like, do I do it? Do I not? How many more reviews can I watch about this thing, right? I did that for the cameras. I did that for my laptop. It's natural, right? And I think we reviewers have to get it soon because, we've got to review it.
I mean, we will be talking about the iPad later on, but as we're going Ask About Face this episode, that's not going to be at the end. Last weekend, before we get back to the heat that's been on reviewers over the last week or so, last weekend was my first weekend completely off this year. I didn't have to do any of my day work. I didn't have to do any YouTube work. The next week's video, I already knew what it was going to be. So I took your Canon, my Canon, the family Canon. I actually took it out for the day and just took pictures and really got to know the camera. And I had the time of my life all weekend because I've been scared about it. I'm really enjoying photography since I bought that camera and the art of photography and kind of trying to understand framing and lighting. And so I went out in daylight because I always shoot under controlled conditions, which is phony to some degree because, it's going to be the same every week. But going out and just being in woodlands and by a pond and trees, I had the time of, I went to a coffee shop and I was taking pictures and the butcher's there and I was having the time of my life. So awesome. The photography bug is well and truly in my genes now. Yeah. So when can you say a product shit or not, basically? So we're talking, of course, about Marquez has made 2 videos, the worst car I've ever reviewed, the worst product I've ever reviewed. We only mention his name because he's been very open about it. He's made his reaction video to it as well. And it's become quite a thing that, somebody with great, when you've got that level of fame, comes with responsibility. What's your take on it? If you're sent a product to review by a company, how do you play it?
Well, I think you've got to be honest, right? At my level, it really it can't, I haven't reviewed anything that big like a car or something that I would feel really in a tricky position if the product was crap.
But in your position, Garmin that we're looking at now, I watched your video, you said right at the head, they've sent you this for review, you've got to return it, but there was no paid video, there was no checking the script.
They didn't see it. Yeah, exactly. And I do say some things in there that if it was a paid review, they probably would have said, can you remove that bit? And I would find that really difficult. I would find that
presumably you've had that in the past, right? With paid reviews?
No, but I've had incidents where I said, look, I know you're paying for this review. I found this problem with the product. And I gave them 2 options. I said, you can either delay the review until you fix the problem, or you allow me to say this, because if I'm doing the review, I'm going to have to mention it. Actually, there was a 3rd option, which was I can mention the problem and say that we spoke, which we did, and that you are doing something about it. So they said, okay, we are going to do something about it. It was just an iPad accessory at the time, but it just didn't work. I mean, the one, depending on the charger cable that you had, it wouldn't fit in the thing. So I was like, that's, and it could cause a fire as well if you didn't cover. So I was like, look,
pretty,
So they're like, we'll fix it and come back to you. They never came back. So,
right.
At my level, that's not really but I think I would probably do the same with, if it was an Apple or Samsung device, I would probably say the same, look, I found this serious issue. What do you want to do about it? Because, I can't ignore it.
See, obviously I haven't had to been put in that position yet, but my thought is you're obviously a good few steps ahead of me, but we're not at the mega level. So
I wouldn't classify myself as any different. It's just, I think the people reaching out to me are no different. Honestly, I was reached out for a company last week to sell a frying pan. So
Did you get the email? We've watched your channel and think we'd be a good fit. You always get that email. I've sort of questioned what I would do if somebody was paying me a good amount of money to review a product. Yes, I'd like to think I'd be honest, but because I'm so small that I kind of need the money and I need their support in the future, could I look myself in the mirror and honestly say I'd be 100% honest? I'd like to think so, but I'd need to be tested on that.
I think there are ways in which, kind of you can do something like that, right? Some people gloss over it, which for me is just as bad as not being transparent, right? Because to say something right at the end, and I've seen this so many times, it's like, amazing review, and then literally the last 5 seconds, it will mention something really bad. It's like, wait, that could be a deal breaker for a lot of people. And I've seen that time and time again, just so they can tick the box. My problem right now I know Marquez, is like huge and like completely in a different stratosphere. But my issue is consistency, right? I think I fully agree with his approach right now, which is, I don't think, did the AI pin get sent to him? I'm not even sure if company sent it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
He shat on it all over. I thought, okay, it's crap. Is all sorts of things wrong with it. I've had videos that, I've watched some of his videos about the iPhone, for example. Remember when the iPhone was clearly overheating for a lot of people? It wasn't just one case. I was one of them. He didn't say anything about it. So it's like, well, there's a serious problem. And, my cynic side is like, well, because it's Apple and Apple is such a big part of your channel, you're probably not that keen on it. But a startup is a bit of an easier target. So that's my only thing with, about the whole thing is if he was consistent and said, and crapped, on every single product, honestly, even if it's an iPhone, I'd probably be more fully on his side. But I am on this, you can't really deny that the product is just not ready for, the AI pin thing is just not ready.
No, so I'm going to leave some links in this video, in our podcast, to some videos I was watching last night. I can't remember the creator's name, but he had Marquez on, and a little while before that had McKinnon on, but Marquez he's had on since the Humane AI pin. And it's a really interesting interview about his whole take on that side. So it might be something you'd want to watch, and some of our listeners and viewers might want to watch.
Yeah, I've watched it. I've watched the podcast he did as well. On, what's it called? He did his own podcast.
Yeah. History. I might be able to find it there. Can I see who the creator was?
Waveform.
It's John Uche. John Uche. He's big. That recent video with Marquez has already had, in a day it's had 51,000 views. McKinnon's had 500,000 views. But it's a really good interview and a take on his stance and what's happening. With the Humane one, I watched his video, and to be fair, it was a half-hour video, and the first half was almost, this is what potentially is good about it. But as you say, the thing is, it's just not ready for release. To some degree, they've got to take responsibility. They sent it to him because they know he can reach a market they will never ever be able to reach. People now know of the Humane AI pin, whether it's good or bad, people know of it at least. So with that, they've got to know if they're sending it to him, if he doesn't like something. The biggest problem I think I had, I'm a massive admirer of Marquez. The biggest problem I've got is he did 2 videos on the bounce with the Rivian, not the Rivian,
it was a trend of
the car video he did.
Killing companies.
Yeah. So with that car video, he gave it the worst car I've ever tested. It clearly wasn't Rivian, so I've gone blank on the name. But Fisker, that was it. And he saw it worked, so he did the next one, the worst. Yeah. And it's kind of like, that is 100% clickbait. He saw it work once, rinse and repeat.
I think so. I think there's an element of, we could, there's so many examples where, he's done the right thing, and is when it comes to the car one, to be fair, he does call out quite a few issues even with the Cybertruck, right? So he's not afraid of, he like I think we mentioned in the last podcast, he doesn't need any of these brands anymore. Right? He achieved everything there is to achieve, and is probably could be just a standalone channel without any brands. So I think for me, it's just when it comes to the bigger brands like Apple.
He does he talks directly about Apple in this interview.
Okay, yeah.
And to give you an idea, you said he's in a different stratosphere. The interviewer, who's really good, this John Uche, said to him, AdSense, what do you make? He wouldn't say, but 6 figures He's making 6 figures a month in AdSense, and his company's turning over regularly 7 figures a month. So big company.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I think whatever he says about that, but when you watch his iPhone reviews, you can go back years. Like there's not a lot of bad, and the iPhone isn't perfect. I mean, it's a beautiful device, but especially in the last few years, has had flaws. And it's not. By the way, it's not Marquez. There's quite a few of those. And Apple, I know they will never send me anything because they know I've already kind of destroyed that bridge. But yeah, I'd rather say
integrity is
exactly
important.
What it is. If I'm finding issues with it, I'm not going to hide it.
No, it's been a whole interesting week to watch, and everyone's been weighing in with their opinions. So as we were doing the podcast this week, I thought it'd be interesting to get our take on where it stands.
Mind you, Apple, if you're listening, I will gladly accept an invite to Cupertino, but I can't be bought.
Yeah, it can't be bought. And by the way, you mentioned Tesla a minute ago. That's been recalled as well. Have you heard? The Cybertrucks had a recall put on it.
Yeah, all of them, the accelerator.
Right, the accelerator just falling off.
A minor detail.
Mate, that weight of car going at full chatter down the road with the accelerator falling off. Oh, only Tesla, right? So, yes, the invites landed this week for... Finally. Trust me, I've been waiting. I've had not a lot to report about or write about or make videos about. There's been nothing. We were promised in March all of these goodies. Nothing happened.
Do we know why it was late?
Apparently, the OLED panels were slower in production.
Okay.
We're assuming that the news is that we're supposed to be at this Let Loose event with the Apple Pencil as the logo, and wasn't even a vague attempt to try and work out what it's about this time. We're supposed to be getting an iPad Air in 12.9-inch micro LED displays, and that display is going to be the old iPad Pro display because they still clearly got inventory. So that's going to be iPad Airs are going to get M2 and micro OLED in two sizes. You've got the 10.9 and 12.9 now, and then iPad Pro is supposed to have the 11 and 13-inch with OLED panels on with M3. And a
definitely
new
getting the Pro
Magic Keyboard. So you're going to?
Did you say there's a Mini as well? Or no,
iPad Air in a new size, a larger iPad. So both the iPad Air and iPad Pro will now have two sizes in. And there's going to be a new Magic Keyboard and a new pencil. I know you said you're interested in the keyboard.
Definitely, yeah. I hope there's a new pencil as well. I don't know what else they can do on the pencil, but it would be cool.
Apparently it's going to have gestures on it, very similar to Vision Pro. They reckon it could almost also tie in with Vision Pro OS as well, which they might be announcing at WWDC. So apparently you're going to be tap gestures and so on. So May looks like it's going to be an expensive month for me. Whichever way I go, whether I buy 512 or 1 terabyte, makes little difference. It's going to be chuffing expensive. But I'm really looking forward to it because, as you know, I've never had an iPad.
Yeah, I think it does some gestures already, the double tapping thing. But
some new gestures.
Maybe they mean like, circle or whatever.
Yeah. So the whole idea is that the pencil might integrate with Vision OS as well. So will you be buying an iPad? Or,
100%. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I've got sponsors lined up.
You're right. Okay. So that's a done deal.
Yeah, I've got to.
Yeah. Is there anything you're particularly looking forward? I mean, the OLED panel, is it the Pro you're getting or the Air? The Pro, I take it.
Definitely the Pro, maybe the Air as well. I don't know.
Have you got an Air?
Definitely the Pro. I have an Air, yeah. In fact, when I reach for an iPad, it's just lighter to use, a bit more. I sold my 12.9-inch M1 iPad Pro, and I kept the M2 iPad Pro, the 11-inch. Mm-hmm. So now it's kind of a bit of a toss-up between the Air and the 12.9, the Pro. But I can use them quite interchangeably without an issue. It's very rare when I go in there and I need to do something, unless I'm working on a video. So I'll do like an editing a video, for a little bit with using Final Cut Pro on the iPad just to show on the video rather than actually using it. So yeah, there's very little reason for me to use the Pro myself right now. And obviously the Tab S9 Ultra is on my desk. Yeah,
you put a video about that last week, didn't you? I think.
Yeah. That's another one that took forever to create. But it's hard to be excited about the panel because I've got a beautiful, I think it's a 16:10
it's huge,
aspect ratio.
It?
It's awesome. It's not very portable, so maybe that's where the iPad maybe for me might come in if I want to travel with it or whatever. But I don't know. I'm more excited about and maybe this delay actually works in my favor, because one of the things I've always complained is, the software, iPadOS. In the past, anyway, iPadOS 16, 15 wasn't great. 17 started to show that we can do some cool stuff now. We connect to like even professional cameras now. You can connect to the iPad. You can connect to screens without any issues. So yeah, it's getting there. I think Stage Manager just needs to be scrapped and maybe start again. Let's introduce proper multitasking in the iPad without the fear of cannibalizing sales on Macs. So I think I don't know, I'm just guessing why Apple doesn't properly do multitasking. Or maybe it's just because, as Tim Cook will probably say, right? It's like, we're not hearing that from our users. It's like,
it seems to me, because I've made, for some reason, I've made a lot of shorts about the iPad stories, and I've made no secret about I will be buying one. And I think coming into it completely fresh.
That was a terrible Tim Cook accent, by the way.
It's not deep fake, is it? That's what I'm looking forward to. Get my hands on something I've got no idea of, and using it from day one and just finding my way with it, finding out if I can
I'm excited for you, because if you have never used an iPad.
I told you, my mum's iPad mini is the only iPad I've ever used.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, to get my hands on a good, either an Air or a Pro, and I'm going to get the keyboard, and, I'm going to go balls deep in it. I'm going to get everything I can, and just, like I've done with the MacBook Air, I'm just going to spend time with it and see how I feel about it.
I want to stay like I am right now, which is completely oblivious to anything. It's kind of not excited, because I've been bitten so many times, because the iPad is probably one of the products, my favorite products. It used to be anyway. But yeah, I've been bitten so many times, mostly on promises that never materialized. So I'm going to just kind of, obviously buy one and review it and get excited if things do turn out to be good.
The other rumours are that it's going to be thinner. It's going to be down to 5mm. It's going to be 1 millimeter thinner.
Oh yeah, that's even thinner than the Tab S9 Ultra,
the thinnest ever Apple product. I think it's going to be.
It's probably going to be thinner than anything on the market. If it's 5mm,
that's because of OLED. Apparently, the OLED technology means the panel can be that much thinner. Slimmer bezels, hasn't everything got slimmer bezels? The camera on the back, apparently, of the Air and the Pro is now going to be a pill design.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the aspect of being lighter, especially when you add the Magic Keyboard. If that Magic Keyboard is even lighter, if you get to around, I don't know, 1.2, 1.3 kilos on the Pro size with a keyboard, that's good. That's the current. I think the Tab S9 Ultra with the Samsung keyboard, which is crap.
It's not a good keyboard.
Not for me. Some people like it.
That's the official Samsung one.
Yeah. The keyboard itself is fine. The actual, feedback, and it's backlit and everything. So it's useful. And you can sort of use it on your lap. But for me, because I've used the Magic Keyboard for so long, you can't compare them. It's just not, it's a bit flimsy. And
the trackpad, I know, is supposed to be really good on the Magic Keyboard, isn't it? Apple's Magic Keyboard is supposed to be a really good key.
Everything's good in there. The only thing you miss is the function keys, which the Samsung one does have. Did I hear that that's coming? Like they're going to have function keys?
I hadn't heard that. Right, maybe there's so many stories floating about at the moment.
Yeah, or I heard something about having a metal part at the top.
Well, the camera's obviously meant to be going onto the long edge now, onto the horizontal edge.
No, on the Magic Keyboard.
On the Magic Keyboard, they're talking. The only other things I've heard about Magic Keyboard were there's going to be more angles of elevation, almost a clipboard mode if it's on the desk, and also that the pencil might now charge.
Useful. Yeah,
and the pencil could charge in a hinge.
I get more excited about that than the iPad itself.
And I was chatting with Hartley from Mac Rumors recently, and he seems to think that that's coming out in addition to the existing keyboard. So I don't know if it's going to be the Pro Magic Keyboard.
A lot of people are asking me in my videos, do you know if the new keyboard will be compatible with the previous
it's apparently going to be an addition to, so they're keeping the other one on the market apparently, and it's all going to be expensive, that's for sure. So we mentioned a short, that's May 7th. The other thing I was going to say was if it's on a Tuesday, which is a lovely time for us, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
2 p.m, isn't it?
3 p.m. What they've absolutely gifted that to us in the UK. What a perfect time to put the event out.
That's pretty good, yeah.
7 a.m. Pacific time, poor sods having to get up and report on that straight in the morning. But that makes me wonder if, being a Tuesday, not a Monday, whether the iPads will be in stores that Friday of that week, or whether it be the Friday after.
That's what I was hoping for. Yeah, I'm just kind of looking, where can I go and get one? Rather than, I don't know, I've tried ordering before and being bitten. I just want to have a full weekend with it and, see what it's all about.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping for Friday.
That's what I'm hoping. Yeah. I'll go to Battersea and pick mine up, I think, because it's only sort of an hour from where I live. So I'll pop into town and pick it up. And then, as you say, spend the weekend with it. Probably make it short about picking it up, but nothing more than that. And then try and actually spend some time with it. Now I'm
I wonder if I could, I don't know, it depends how busy I am at work. I might come to London and do that. Maybe we can do it together.
Cool. All right. Well, on Tuesday we talk.
Regent Street.
Yeah. I can get to those easy enough. Same difference to me. All of those, because you've got the three, and then you've got Covent Garden, Regent Street, and Knightsbridge. Kensington.
Yeah,
all three.
I think Battersea Park would be nice. It's
Battersea's
bigger, right?
lovely.
Yeah,
there's good coffee shops there as well, and you've got the Thames behind all you can sit out. Just a word of warning: they're really, really snotty about any camera work. Did I tell you this story? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, you gotta.
When I was doing some filming with away from.
Do you
Battersea.
know who I am?
Well, obviously, I tried that one out. Clearly, the answer was no. But then I was filming away with the Thames behind me, and the security guard came up and said, "You can't film here." And I said, "It's the Thames. You can't stop me filming the Thames. It could be anywhere down the Thames." And he had to go get permission. And I kept on arguing, I haven't got Battersea Tower. The tower's in sight. No one knows I'm here.
I guess it was a bigger camera. And,
it's good. It's on a tripod.
That's the thing. They're probably looking for people who are going to do something commercial with it.
Yeah.
But I guess if you're just a tourist, on an iPhone, probably no one's going to do anything.
What we'll do then, when we've watched the announcement on the Tuesday, we'll get in touch and see if you've got time to get into London.
Yeah, I'd love to do something like that. Yeah, just come down and do something different. 'Cause I've tried it before by myself, and it's really awkward to be recording myself. I've done that with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I went to the store and did a bit of a vlog outside, and it's like...
Yeah, I've done that.
I used it in the video, but it wasn't really that interesting.
Also, talking of friends distant, Daniel's coming over to the UK sometime soon, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah, he's staying nearby, actually.
Well, he's staying near London, and he's staying near you. So I think both of us
he's going to spend a few days here, I think. And it would be awesome. Yeah. I mean, maybe we can do something like a threesome.
Yeah, a threesome. Yeah. There goes the PG rating on this one.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd
be cool, yeah.
Yeah, I'll come up for that one. That'd be cool. Yeah, lovely. So back to products that I was just watching your watch review. Only ever the Garmin. Now you've used the Watch Ultra, you've used the Garmin, and have you used the Sam? Yeah,
I've used the. I think it was I forgot the naming convention on the Samsung watches, but 5 or 4. I don't know. I didn't get the Pro because people said it was crap, but I'm gonna try the new Pro when it comes out, hopefully this year. And I'm currently testing another Garmin. This is the Phoenix 7X Pro Solar. This is
that higher up the food ladder?
I'm only doing 5K runs on this. It's embarrassing, but yeah, this is for serious people.
Because the one that you were
climbing Everest,
the one I was just watching was the Epix Pro, wasn't it? So the one you've got on now, is that a higher tier
it's
watch?
A slightly higher tier, yeah. Although personally, I prefer the display on that one, on the Epix Pro, because it's an OLED display. This is one of those traditional Garmin. You can't really see, it's not bright like the Apple Watch or the Epix.
Do you not use your Watch Ultra at all anymore then?
No, it's so rare. Maybe in the last, I'd say 3 months, I put it on once or twice. Yeah, and usually it was for a comparison.
And the things you don't like about it, I know you mentioned battery life in the video I was watching.
It's mostly that, yeah. I think I got to a point where I loved when it first came out because it was different, and it did a really good job in my sleep tracking. But as I transitioned from the iPhone to the S24 Ultra, or S23 Ultra even back then, it started to make less and less sense to have it. It was still possible, and I went through I did a whole lot of videos about my troubles with that. To a point where I bought an iPhone 13 mini at one point to keep
just to run it,
the watch in sync. So yeah, that's my main gripe with it. You have to have an iPhone to have the watch, otherwise it won't work together.
Well, you in the Department of Justice don't like that, do you?
No, and that's what I love about the Garmin. It doesn't care what phone you've got, or even if you have. Actually need a phone, really.
Because I was watching it. You've got the web portal you can log into as well and get a load of data down off of that, can't you?
Yeah, and I think Apple can do that almost the same now with Apple. Don't you have like a fitness app on the iPad?
The fitness,
a bit more.
Oh,
So yeah, I think it's kind of there, but it's so much more detailed on Garmin and others as well. I think there's a new watch called Chorus, which I want to look at. That has a similar sort of dashboard and very detailed data. Yeah, I love all this stuff. Some people don't care. Some people just want to know their heart rate. And
so before the Garmin was sent through to you, what was your daily watch you were wearing then?
It was the Epix Gen 2, which is not the Pro. So the one I reviewed is the Pro.
Yeah.
It's the Epix Gen 2, which I bought last year after reviewing the Phoenix 6 Pro, which is the one before this one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just fell in love with how they tackle my needs. Like, it's not gimmicky. So the main thing for me is like when you go out for an activity like a run or whatever, it's not fake. I think Apple, it gives you those rings, which is lovely to see, but in a way it's almost like, is it really, it's trying to make you feel better even if you don't do much, whereas the Garmin will say,
be honest,
during the run it's like you're really slacking here. No, come on. So I love the aspect of the competitive aspect of it. I think Apple tried to do that, but it's a little bit more like black and white with Garmin, I feel.
Yeah, well, if sort of, earnings and money's kind to me this year without spending it before I've got it, I think I would like to try a Watch Ultra. I think because I also do an Apple workout every morning as well. So I go out in the mornings and I come back from that and then I'm doing Apple. So I'm using the whole thing. Yeah. And I love Apple Fitness as well. I mean, for me, for my needs, I haven't got around to joining.
I probably need to cancel my plan. I've got all of that stuff and I don't actually use it anymore. It's just... yeah,
well, I bundle mine together under the one bundle, Apple One bundle, and so because I'm using so many things.
Same, yeah.
So obviously for me, because I'm using so many and making a channel purely on Apple, it's kind of sensible for me to have it. But no, so I'm big into it, which makes me think the Watch Ultra for me would be a sensible progression forward.
I think so. I think I would probably go back to the Apple Watch Ultra if when the Apple Watch Ultra 2 came out, I just couldn't believe that Apple did nothing to. I mean, it was. It's like the same thing with that tapping thing. It's like, yeah, that one it still throws me. It's like, well, why would you release that product? I would expect at least a better battery, but it's exactly the same battery. They say 72 hours, but in reality, in my case anyway, it was like barely a day and a half, maybe 2 days if I was lucky.
And obviously, this spells the day where you're sitting at the desk anyway, so it's not as if you're hyperactive the whole day long. And if it's only getting sort of, not approaching 72 hours.
It wasn't great. I mean, I'm not the most organized person that I can say, right, I know when to charge my watch. I just want that to not be a thing in my life. So I really appreciate having a watch that, right now, if I look at this, it says 24 days left of battery. It's like,
I was just going to ask you, is it 24 days?
24 days. I mean, this doesn't have an OLED screen and whatever, and it does have a bigger battery than the one I just reviewed. That one was like maybe 3 weeks. But
jeez,
my tolerance is like 5 days. If I can get to, actually, I lie. If the Apple Watch Ultra went to 3 full days of battery, or even 3 or 4 days, anything above 3 days, I'd probably go back to it. If the iPhone wasn't crap. But yeah, that is my main thing right now. Yeah, it's just once you've tried something that removes that problem from your life, it's hard to go back. Even though you can't really compare. That's so different device. They really are completely in almost a different category. I'd say Apple Watch is a smartwatch and it's got the beautiful UI, very intuitive, does everything. If you want to control things in your house, in your home automation, make phone calls or whatever. There's no mobile version of the Garmin. There's no cellular version of the. It's just a fitness tracking and health tracking device. It's.
I know for why I don't know, but I do know a couple of fairly serious athletes, and I know they really favour the Garmin.
Some people have both, and some people will say, if I want to go to the coffee shop and pay for stuff, especially here in the UK, the Garmin Pay stuff doesn't quite work unless you hook it up to other services, and it can make it work. But I've got Barclays, which is one of the most popular banks here, right? And they are fairly modern. They're not the most modern, but you can't pay. You can't use Garmin Pay with that. So there's definitely trade-offs, right? There's like things that you're losing when you move to the Garmin. But for me, using an Android phone and this, I just love the fact that it's not buzzing constantly with, you can turn on notifications and stuff, but I turn all of that off and it just does one job, which is to keep me active and fit.
It's weird. When I first got to an Apple Watch, again, it's fair to say I didn't really know what to expect from it. And I think what I like about it is it's kind of, not just this, I mean, fitness watch in general, or smartwatches and health tracking watches, is the way it does gently encourage you just to be that little bit more active. And for what we do a lot of the time, even the way it reminds you it's worth standing up, which we never do. You get immersed in editing and you just sit there hour after hour after hour.
Yeah, exactly. It's even if it's not accurate, because I've just proven by doing all these reviews in smartwatches, I just realized that they are so off in terms of what they're measuring. But for the 99.9% of people, that's all they need, right? They don't need it to be 100% accurate. They just need it to be good enough to remind them, okay, you need to get up, you need to do something. You're less active this week than you were last week. I think that's what most people care about. Really.
Yeah.
All the extra goodies that are supposed to be coming out, right? Did I hear that we're getting the blood sugar? Blood sugar.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Yeah, I think that's down line. They're still a little way away from it. That's kind of almost the Rosetta Stone. When they get there, that's the moment they all want to seem to. Who will be first to get there? Who knows? But
once they solve whatever lawsuits they're going
exactly, because obviously the more
the
you
oxygen, blood oxygen was a purchased company, wasn't it?
Yeah. And obviously that came just after COVID, which is when it would have been really, really useful to have. But yeah, I mean, I now I've got a smartwatch on. It's weird. I've got some other, probably like yourself, I've got some actually quite nice watches at home, but I don't ever think of wearing them anymore. It's just this one does everything I need it to do, ties in with everything I want it to do.
Yep.
And it kind of makes sense. And I'm definitely more active because of it. I wouldn't say that I'm hooked on the amount of steps I get in each day, but if I can sort of get over 12 in, I'm thinking, okay, yeah, that's healthy enough. I'm good. I'm glad with that. And last week when I had my weekend off on Sunday and I looked back and I did just under 10 miles walking that day, I thought, okay, I definitely deserve a pie tonight. I've done my 10 miles. So I mean, without that, I wouldn't have had that kind of that reference point to know what I'd done. And it's just, I don't know, it's a convenient way of just seeing that you're doing something that's...
Yeah, I'm wearing this as well, which has got its own... this is great.
Which ring was that?
So this is the Ultra Human Air ring. I think I've been now maybe nearly 3 months wearing this every day. Again, it's one of those things that I wish I knew sooner, how good these things are, especially for sleep tracking. For me, it's one of those things that I know how bad it. I'm so irregular, and but once you look at trends and once you look at things that you're doing that is impacting your sleep positively or badly, it's really cool to look at that data retrospectively and go, all right, okay, if I change this one habit, it will improve things.
And presumably, a ring is the most comfortable thing to wear in bed. It doesn't get in the way at all.
It's not completely. It's not as good. So I've got a wedding ring, and that is a lot more comfortable.
Slimmer, yeah.
So this is slightly thicker. So when I sleep, I actually put it on my thumb. So it's because of that. Because if you go like that, you do feel it on your face. So yeah, but in comparison to this huge, watch it. Yeah, it's not.
And I assume because it's a ring, it's fit around the finger. Presumably, the data it's getting is more consistent, and it's a better result it's getting.
You would think so, right? It's different to the watch. So I think the most accurate you're gonna get is a heart rate like chest strap. So this is good, but it's not as accurate, I don't think, because even just comparing that with the watch is different. But not by much though. It's one of those things again that most people won't care. But for me, what it has been good is the data. The app on this one is very good as well. It will kind of show you, for example, when it's good to get exposure to light in the morning, and what point you should start drinking coffee. I thought the first thing I'd drink is coffee, but actually no, there's an optimal period of time depending on yourself as well. But yeah, and there's also obviously, this is obvious, but there's a point in which you should stop drinking any stimulants. But yeah, it's all good stuff that if you do listen and if you do stuff, it will make a big difference. I feel better, whether it's because of this thing's keeping me active or not. I just need to keep reviewing them and just.
I think that's part of it. It does it prompts you to be more active. It really does. Yeah. So out of interest, obviously you've got 3 smartwatches you've either have on at the same time or been testing. How similar is the data that you're getting out of them? I mean, only to the point I was thinking of trying to find out how accurate are these watches, because presumably all three should be giving you very similar readings.
Yeah. GPS tracking data is very similar. I mean, unless I think if you do, I mean, especially here in the countryside, there were times when I was wearing 2 or 3 of them at the same time just to see what what it would report, and there's so minor variations, which is, I think, is normal, right? I think Garmin uses their own satellites, where the Apple Watch might use a different satellite. I don't know. So you're going to be a meter off or whatever. On an activity, you find sometimes that, for me, the most inaccurate thing about these watches and between them is the time it takes for them to react. So, for example, if you're cooling down, cooling down, and then let's say you go for a sprint, that it would take the Apple Watch Ultra probably less than 10 seconds to go, all right, it's gone up, and you show you on display. Whereas the Garmin Epix, the normal one that I've got, is about 20 to 30 seconds to go, oh yeah, his heart rate's gone up. But it takes that long to show you.
Yeah.
Whereas the one I just reviewed, the Epix Pro and the Phoenix 7X Pro, both are very quickly like the Apple Watch. So when you look at a graph, you will see very discrepant data depending on the watch. But not many people care.
I'll leave a link to that video so other people can watch it as well. Because I was watching it, I was determined, on my list of things to do before the podcast, to sit and watch your video, because I wanted to know more about the Garmin anyway, because I know so many people rave about them and wear them.
I'm glad I tried. It was actually a viewer who sent it to me initially, like last year. Was the first one I reviewed was a loaner from a viewer, which is awesome. It was the same person who loaned me the Xperia.
Oh yeah.
So
he likes you, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, he's great. He's really, he's got a nice person to send me that stuff without me having to buy it. It's really good.
And just lastly, this morning I actually wrote a story about AirPods Max. I've started using them a lot more recently. I realised I've been sitting at the back of the studio and never been picked up because I just like the AirPods Pro so much.
There somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those. And then you put them on, and the first thing you realise is the sound is really, really good. And this morning when I was writing, I was listening to the same album using those AirPods Pro and also a pair of reference biodynamic headphones. So I was really sort of trying to, and the sound is really, really good. But I was just coming up with a few things that sort of pee me off about them, and where I think I'd love to see them improve. Wireless charging would be something. Gestures for volume USB-C on the cup rather than USB-C is a given. But I mean, I'd like wireless as well. And also when you take them off, well, when around the neck, they don't go flat. That's a really annoying thing. So they just stick at this awkward angle. And then when you take them off, they clank together, don't they? The cups just bang
annoying.
Together.
Yeah. The whole, it needs a power button.
Totally. It needs a dedicated on-off button.
Or make some sort of gestures on that crown to be the power. But the whole low, what is it? Always on thing.
You have to put it in the case. Sometimes to power it down. I mean,
especially now, I know if I try to use it now, I know the battery's flat, but it won't just, within half an hour or so, it's not going to just work. It's going to take some time to kind of realize it's got some juice in it.
Well, I didn't have any actual data on that, but I wrote this morning saying I don't think they claim up to 20 hours. It doesn't feel like anything like 20 hours on those.
It's always, it's always, whenever, like you said, whenever I do use it, it's it's nice. It's quite light as well in comparison to the not light per se, but it feels light in your head, even though it's not light.
It needs the H2 chip because it hasn't got conversation awareness. There's no sweat or water resistance.
I've been using my AirPods Pro, second gen one, quite a lot now for work. Because my new client has a meeting time which is clashing with my gym. But I found a space in the gym that I can go and just do the call before going for my gym session. And I've been using the AirPods Pro quite a bit for calls now. And it's it's a cafe next to the gym. And I turn on the awareness thing, and it's just, people always complain, my gosh, there's a lot of background noise in there, even when I'm talking. So it's kind of disappointing that, I'm not sure how well that works.
The thing I feel, I'm not comfortable using it because I just think, I don't know if it's the way my mum and dad brought me up, but if you stand and talk to someone, and oftentimes it is in a coffee shop, you're buying coffee and you're talking to somebody, it looks like you're still listening. And I just think that looks really rude. I don't know if that's me just being
whenever
an
I'm
old
talking
fart.
to someone in person, I take them off. I don't.
Yeah.
Even if it's just one, sometimes, if I'm listening to something important, I will take at least one off. But most of the time, I just remove them completely. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like I said, it's
no, exactly.
etiquette.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not alone in that. But yeah, again, they were sitting there doing nothing, and I've made a real effort to pick them up and use them as much as possible. And it's what we got back to saying earlier on, that it's only when you spend time with something.
I've edited a few videos with it, actually. Yeah, there's a delay because it's Bluetooth.
Oh, you haven't
once
got the
you get
audio
used
cable.
to that, I mean, your brain's quite clever in terms of realizing that there's a delay, and you kind of adjust. After a while, you kind of just learn to work with it. Obviously, proper headphones or just speakers is better. But yeah, it's funny that you mentioned it, because I looked at it. It's been there for weeks, and I'm just collecting that.
Well, I don't know if I can make a video out of it or not, because I normally make a video out of a blog.
I made a video as soon as it came out, and it's just like, I mean, my channel was so small back then as well. But yeah,
I don't know if it'd get any views now or not. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like, it depends on the angle you go for. If there was a new one coming out, maybe.
Well, exactly. Yeah, I don't think I think it would just die dead in the water, because again, it gets back to what you're saying. You've got to sort of make videos for things that you think people are going to go and want to buy, and there's so few people are going to be looking to buy AirPods Max right now.
Yeah, I mean, there will be videos where you want to make them because you want to make them, right? But I think if you want to get, if you're not to hurt the channel, then I'd say focus on stuff that. I mean, I think in your case, even more than my channel right now, it's like iPad for the next 2-3 months.
Yeah, I mean, the MacBook Air has been really kind to me. I'm glad I bought that. That served me really well. It's been good views, good subscribers.
And those go well together, right? It's like when you...
Exactly.
I can see a video where you talk about both together. Like how do you work with both?
A viewer just said that this morning. Will you be doing a comparison when you get it? And I said, yeah, 100% I will. I'm going to try to avoid
maybe not comparison, how they work together. I think the whole point of Apple, if Apple made the MacBook Air touchscreen, would you buy an iPad?
But exactly.
Vice versa, right? If there was Mac OS on the iPad, would you buy a Mac?
And just talking the ecosystem before we wrap up. This morning, I said I was sitting writing. And as I was writing, I was wearing the AirPods Max. Also switching. Oh, my Lord. They want us to be in the ecosystem. They want us to have multiple devices around us. I had the music coming from my MacBook Pro, and the minute I touched the keyboard on the MacBook Air, connected. No,
I'm glad you're saying that,
because,
if I say people say he's an Apple hater, honestly, whenever I say that on Twitter, I get bombarded with people going, "You're just an Android fanboy." Man, I want this shit to work. It's a real thing. It just doesn't.
It's a real thing. It doesn't work. I said in the story that I wrote that if it's going to work, get it to work. If it doesn't work, just dump it, because it's a proper pain in the arse.
It's lovely when it does. Right. It's one of those things where you leave the house and you enter your car and things just move, right? But I don't know how many times that worked in the last 10 years.
The handoff thing I haven't got as much of an issue with, but it's that auto switching. It's too clever for its own good. It really is. It just doesn't know which device. And dare pick up your phone while you've got them, and it just goes into complete meltdown.
Well, sometimes none of them listen to you either. It's like,
Oh, I had a brilliant one. I can't remember exactly the response. It was the other night when the event got announced, and it was 7 a.m. PT, Pacific time. So I just asked my Apple Assistant what time. It did not know what to give me.
To Google. I mean, to be fair, it's the same with the Amazon one. It chooses. Sometimes you ask exactly the same prompt and it gives you completely different answers.
Yeah. Anyway, there you go. Well, that's our podcast for this time
around.
We're
a rant all over the place, but yeah.
We had a lot to talk about, as it turns out. There was lots to cover there, and it was a good, fun episode. I'll put a link to Alex's latest video in there. Those other couple of interviews I mentioned with Marquez and Peter McKinnon there. Link to my story maybe as well. So yeah, all good. We'll be back a couple of weeks' time. We'll put us just after we might have met in London. We might do the podcast together in London.
Yeah. Yes.
It'll be that Friday.
Yes. I'm actually.
So that's a point to bear in mind. Yeah. The next episode of this will be in 2 weeks' time, which could be the day the iPads are coming out, which would make it very hard for us to do the podcast on that day.
We might have to be.
So we're either a day early or we'll work something out. But who knows? We might actually be in London together.
Maybe it's a flash episode.
So we'll work something out. Anyway, thank you. Also, there's some new subscribers on Podbean as well to the podcast, and some a couple of comments on the video. Just it's lovely. We enjoy making it, and all the time you get involved and help us, it just makes it that little bit easier. So we'll be together somehow in 2 weeks ish.
Yes. See you there.
Having probably been about $2,500 worse off as well.
Be letting loose in London. All right.
Absolutely, yeah.
Cheers.
Thanks, mate. Fun as ever. See you in a couple of weeks' time. Cheers. Bye.